Mark Schultz is an American writer and illustrator of books and comics. His most widely recognized work is his self-created and owned comic book series, Xenozoic Tales, about a post-apocalyptic world where dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures coexist with humans. He is also the current writer of the Prince Valiant comic strip. Early life. Mark Schultz was born just outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but was raised near Pittsburgh. At the age of 6 he discovered both comics and classic adventure films, his early favorites including Tarzan and King Kong. As a teenager he was further inspired by such fantasy authors as Edgar Rice Burroughs and Robert E. Howard and the artists who had illustrated the work, including Frank Frazetta, Roy Krenkel, and Al Williamson, Wally Wood, Howard Pyle and Joseph Clement Cole. Mark Schultz enrolled in Kutztown University of Pennsylvania in 1973 and graduated in 1977 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in painting. For that, he embarked upon a career in advertising illustration, bolstered by such odd jobs as working as a security guard. But he found this work unsatisfying. Career. First comics work. In the early 1980s, Schultz became interested in the burgeoning underground comics scene, which allowed independent artists to publish stories outside the traditional assembly line approach of the mainstream comics industry. He also became attracted to the art of the classic stories published by EC Comics in the 1950s. At one point, he took the few boxes of 1960s and early 1970s Marvel and DC comic books he owned to a local comic book store and traded them for a large collection of EC comics. From then on, he began to hone his illustration style to emulate that of classic EC artists. Schultz's first published comics work was on a story called The Sea King, featuring Robert E. Howard's character King Kull, which appeared in Savage Sword of Conan number 132, published by Marvel Comics. Schultz inked over pencils by Valsa Makes. Schultz did not actively pursue further work from Marvel, however, as he was more interested in developing and publishing comics based on his own concepts. Xenozoic Tales. Throughout the early 1980s, Schultz would germinate the ideas which would eventually bear fruit as Xenozoic Tales. The characters and stories he created were set in a future time period he dubbed the Xenozoic Age, in which an unspecified cataclysm had all but wiped out modern human society. The survivors emerged from their underground bunkers to find a world transformed, where prehistoric creatures had once again become the dominant life forms on Earth. The first story set in the Xenozoic Age that Schultz completed was Mammoth Pitfall, but it would not see publication until Xenozoic Tales number 2. The first to be published was Xenozoic, which ran in the anthology titled Death Rattle number 8, published in December 1986 by Kitchen Sink Press. Later work. Since Xenozoic Tales, Schultz has written comics series for a number of publishers, including Dark Horse and DC. Typically these are stories based on company-owned or licensed characters, rather than his own original work. Schultz created the underwater adventure comics series Subhuman, published by Dark Horse Comics. In 2002, Schultz contributed a number of illustrations to Conan the Cimmerian Volume 1, a new reprinting of the Conan stories of Robert E. Howard, published by Wandering Star Books. The book has since been reprinted in paperback by Del Rey as The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian. He was also interviewed by Derwent Allen for panel discussions, a non-fiction book about the developing movement in sequential art and narrative literature, along with Will Eisner, Walter Simonson and Mike Mignola. Since November 1, 2004, he has been the writer for the long-running comic strip Prince Valiant. Valiant, originally created by Hal Foster. He also read the two-issue intercompany crossover Superman and AMP Batman vs. Aliens and AMP Predator. In 2010, he wrote 3 issues of the Spirit series, spinning off of the First Wave limited series, intended to create a new universe of non-superpowered characters like Doc Savage, Batman, Black Canary, the Black Hawks, Wildcat, the Avenger, Rima the Jungle Girl and others. In 2015, Schultz contributed, among other artists, to bring inner illustrations to the tabletop role-playing game Conan: Adventures in an Age Undreamed of, first published in 2016 by British company coexist Entertainment. Awards. Schultz has been awarded 5 Harvey Awards, 2 Eisners, an Inkpot, a Spectrum, and 3 Hackshires. Bibliography. Kitchen Sink Press. Xenozoic Tales, After the End collects Xenozoic, an archipelago of stone, The Opportunists, Law of the Land, Rogue, Mammoth Pitfall, The Rules of the Game, Benefactor, The Road Not Taken, History Lesson, Postal Service, Excursion, Dog's Life, Foundling, Green Air, Intrusion, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, The New World collects The Growing Pool, Crossed Currents, In the Dreamtime, Foul Weather, Last Link in the Chain, The Aqueduct, Lords of the Earth, Fields of Expertise, Primeval, Report from the Resistance, 2 Cities, A Woman's Work, Dangerous Grounds, Boiling Point, Another Swarm, The Family Business, Xenozoic, Images of Omaha, A Benefit for Reed Waller, Some Cats, Death Rattle V2 No. 1, The Probability Chamber, The Spirit, The New Adventures No. 4, Dr. Rocco von Bittelbaum, collected in Will Eisner's The Spirit Archives Volume 27. Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse presents No. 120, One Last Job, collected in Al Williamson Adventures. Predator, Helen Amp, Hot Water No. 1-3, collected in Predator Omnibus Volume 3. Aliens Omnibus Volume 5 includes Havoc No. 1-2. Omnibus Volume 6 includes Apocalypse No. 1-4, The Destroying Angels. Dark Horse presents No. 140, Once in a Lifetime. Subhuman No. 1-4, Rapture and the Deep. Star Wars Episode 1, Queen Amidala, collected in Omnibus Emissaries and Assassins. The Bounty Hunters No. 2, Scoundrel's Wages, collected in Omnibus Wild Space Volume 2. Tales No. 6, A Fortune, Fate and Amp, The Natural History of the Sarlacc, collected in Tales Volume 2. Aliens vs. Predator Annual, Chained to Life and Death, collected in Omnibus Volume 2. Aliens vs. Predator vs. the Terminator No. 1-4, collected as Aliens vs. Predator vs. the Terminator. Al Williamson, Hidden Lands, Chapter 1 Up from South America. DC Comics Superman, DC 1 million Omnibus includes Action Comics No. 1 million, Brave New Hero, The Man of Tomorrow No. 1 million, Future Story, The 80-page giant in the Age of Solarized Heroic Rebirth, The Man of Steel, King of the World, Parts 12, 17 and 21 inches, A Girl and Her Robot, Nemesis, The Sea Beast of Metropolis. No Limits includes Krypton Lives and Game includes 30 Minutes to Oblivion Till Death Do Us Part includes All That Dwell in Dark Waters, Creation Story, Metropolis Secret Files, Municipal Bonds. Critical Condition includes All Fall Down, Critical Condition, Part 3. What He Didn't Do. Emperor Joker includes Parts 3 and 8. Under the Waterfront. In the Zone. President Lex includes Metropolis is Burning. World Without Superman. Saints Return to Krypton includes The Most Dangerous Kryptonian Game, Blood and Heresy. The Adventures of Crypto. Poor Elijah. Our Worlds at War includes Parts 3, 7 and 11. Time and Punishment. Joker, Last Laugh, Snowball's Chance, What Lies Beneath, Superman v Steel, Gangs of Metropolis. Pantheon ending battle includes Parts 3 and 7, The Big Parade, Every Little Thing, Adventures of Superman number 600, Superman, The Dailies 2002, Super Commander Kent, In the Seventh Millennium, Superman vs. Darkseid, Apocalypse Now, Strange Adventures number 4, Metal 30, Gotham Knights number 17, The Call, collected in Batman, Black and Amp, White 3, Tom Strong number 26, The Day Tom Strong renegotiated the Friendly Skies, collected in Book 5, Superman, Batman vs. Aliens and Amp, Predator number 1-2, collected as Superman, Batman vs. Aliens and Amp, Predator. First Wave, The Spirit number 1-3, Angels Merti, collected in Will Eisner's The Spirit, Angels Merti. Other publishers: A1 True Life, Bikini Confidential, The Betty Page Portfolio, Strange Fantasies. Marvel, Flash Gordon number 1-2, collected in Al Williamson's Flash Gordon. Submariner Comics 70th Anniversary Special, Verge Elfung's WAF. Collected in Timely Comics, the 70th Anniversary Collection. Prince Valiant number 3537 ongoing, and Thomas Yates, Sunday Strip, King Features 2004. Flesk Publications, Mark Schultz. Various Drawings, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. Flesk Prime, Mark Schultz. Carbon, The Stuff of Life. Covers Only Kings in Disguise number 3. Amazing Heroes number 169. King Kong number 2-5. The Comics Journal number 150. Classic Star Wars number 8-17. There's a Madman in My Mirror number 1. Penthousemen's Adventure Comics number 2. The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest number 11. Tarzan number 15-16, The Spirit, The New Adventures number 2, The Tarzan Comics Library Volume 1-3 TPB, Captain Gravity TPB, Fantastic 5 number 2, Star Wars number 13-17, Robert E. Howard's Worms of the Earth number 2, Bone Sharps, Cowboys, and Thunder Lizards GN. Alien Pig Farm 3000 number 2-4, Bad Planet number 3, The War That Time Forgot number 3, Our Fighting Forces number 1, The Colossal Conan HC,